Good evening, movie fans. I'm Jeremy Borja,
And I'm Didier Dore.
and welcome to the latest version of The Movie Show.
Today we are going to review one of the most classic movie titles in both American history and the history of civil rights.
To Kill a Mockingbird was one of the most controversial titles of the 60s. The time of the rebirth of civil rights, it went against the mentality of the time, both in America and around the world.
Robert Mulligan, the movie's director, was in a position that was so wrong at the time that the movie is still reviewed today, just like ourselves.
A special film investigator, Eddie Saliba, will now go over the plot.
The novel To Kill a Mockingbird is a story about innocence, knowledge, prejudice, and courage. In the beginning, the main character, Scout, starts out to be a very immature child, not knowing the prejudiced times around her. As the story goes on, she gains knowledge of these times by fellow kids around her accusing her dad of being a black lover, which then was an insult. Her dad was being courageous of a black man being falsely accused of raping a white girl. Her dad, Atticus, is a criminal defense attorney, only doing his job and not discriminating against this man. Tom symbolizes a mockingbird because all mockingbirds do is sing for our enjoyment and stay out of harm's way. So if you kill them, it is a sin. This is why Tom is a mockingbird in the story, and all he does is stay out of harm's way and is accused of crime, and in the end is eventually guilty and dies.
This is a very difficult movie to rate, ladies and gentlemen, as the movie at the time of production was considered so controversial that no one was willing to properly review it.
The current IMDb rating of this movie is 4 out of 5 stars. What are your thoughts on it, Jeremy?
The movie is just so hard to critique, as the movie throws completely opposite themes at one time that you can't contemplate the plot. And you?
Well, I think the 4 out of 5 from IMDb is good. I think it deserves that rating, as well as the fact it could improve.
I've reluctantly decided to give it 4.5 out of 5, as I believe this movie's influence surpasses its quality. We spoke to renowned mini movie critic Savio Hanna beforehand, and he said,
People need to realize that this movie is both good and bad at the same time. It is receiving a neutral score of 3.5 out of 5 from me.
And his counterpart in the Global Theatre, Giorgio Candela.
I believe this movie was extremely unique, therefore it must receive a unique score. I give it a top-notch 4 out of 5 star score.
Thank you for watching this episode of The Movie Show on ABC.
We look forward to your company next time, next Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. Good night!